So a random update has just been released for Hogwarts Legacy, but is it the one we've all been waiting for, aka the day one patch? Well, just to also add, it's out, but not for everyone yet. So I'll explain what this update is, break down the size, etc. in a moment. Now, the attempt to sabotage this game's success is in full action, as Wired have actually given this a 1 out of 10, which, wow. Now PC users are facing more issues, and lastly, adding a height slider to the character creation, multiplayer but not in the way you think, and house points. So we got tons to get through in this video, so let's dive into it. A like is appreciated, but turn that into a dislike if you get to the end and it turns out you did not enjoy the video. Now firstly, my game has strangely crashed twice today and I have absolutely no idea why, so I'm hoping this update will solve it. Just a side note as well, I have the digital version of the game, so it is a little strange. Now, I would say, although it's probably me just being a bit skeptical, that if you've put a ton of hours already into this game, it might be best to try and back up your save, just in case of the files actually getting corrupt, as it's happened on previous games. Now, as I say, it's probably nothing in me just being skeptical, but hey, you can just go ahead and pop a USB in, transfer it over, and there's tons of videos on YouTube that show you just how to do that in literally a matter of minutes. Now this does take me onto what the update is. Now, the sad news is it does not seem to be the day one patch, or so it seems anyway. So the patch is rolling out and it's gone to PC users first. Now, at the time I'm making this video, it's not yet on the PlayStation 5 nor Xbox, but that might have changed once this video is out. And the reason why I say that is because PC users did mention how they needed to close the game and then open it back up for them to actually be prompted to update it. Now, of course, if you're on the PlayStation or the Xbox, you can just go ahead and click to see if the game has any updates, and it should go ahead and tell you. Now, as far as the update goes, there's a lot of confusion as to whether it's 32 gigabytes or 300 megabytes, and of course, those numbers are quite far apart. So to clarify, the update is 300 megabytes on Steam/PC and will likely be the same for console, or at least close anyway. Now some people might see 295 megabytes and then a 35 gigabyte quote-unquote updating of files, and then it gives like a random ETA, but I'll give you guys an update as soon as I have more info on that. But for the most part, it will just be the 300 megabytes. Now, someone did mention as well, and I quote, "From what I can tell so far, stutters seem to be completely gone for me. Loading times when going through big doors are gone too. I had some loading circles before on them from time to time, but now they just don't show," which is interesting, as I actually thought those loading circles were just kind of a norm in the game and that it's just the game rendering in the background. But it turns out maybe not. Maybe it actually wasn't supposed to be a thing and that you can actually just walk straight through the doors and there are no loading times. But hey, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Now, they do tend to drop the patch notes on the same day it goes live, although we can have them in a 24-hour period. So as far as what exactly the patch includes, it will likely just be stability fixes on things like I mentioned I've experienced at the start, and a few more things as well. Of course, the player base is huge right now, so I imagine this may very well be one of many small updates to come. Now, here's the interesting thing. If it was a day one patch, I could be totally wrong here, but it goes out on all platforms pretty much at the same time, and it's kind of a big deal usually. But again, I'll keep you guys posted as soon as I know, and do let me know as well in the comments below if you've updated your game and you can see any significant differences, or of course if you cannot. Now, Wired have given Hogwarts Legacy a 1 out of 10. Usually I don't like to cover things like this, but when I saw this alongside everything else going on with the attempt to just sabotage the game, it blew my mind. Now I'm eager just to hear your thoughts on these reviews, however, so let me know in the comment section below. Now, adding a height slider to the character creation, multiplayer but not in the way you think, and house points. So yesterday I asked you guys to let me know things you'd like to see in the game, with the attempt to actually share it in videos and hope the devs see it and basically just get the community ideas and maybe, just maybe, decide to at some point add it in the game, or at least consider adding it. So any ideas you have, comment them in the comment section below and I'll feature the ones that get the most thumbs up. So firstly, adding a height slider to the character creation. The idea says the following: honestly, adding a height slider to the character creation would be pretty neat to enhance the immersion. Now I've got to be completely honest with you guys, this is actually something I never even thought about, but now I can't unthink on just how cool it would actually have been, and also it definitely adds a lot more to that whole personal aspect, right, when trying to match that character to you and literally recreate yourself in this wizarding world. So it's weird because it's kind of one of those small features that just go a very long way, so I would absolutely love to see that at some point in the future, either in this version of the game or maybe in a sequel, but at some point I really hope that it is actually going to make an appearance. Now, multiplayer, but not in the way you think. So everyone wants multiplayer in this game, it's been a big topic, and if not multiplayer on a big scale of things, then just co-op, right, or PvP for the most part. So the initial idea was by Benjamin that you'll see on screen, but after I read his comment, it actually sparked a new idea which I feel would be a lot more easier to add and yet still be fun and probably make a lot more sense to the game. So of course we can do broom races and try to beat scores there. I've been trying to do it for a while and I'm just stuck at number 2, but believe me, I am trying my best. Now, what if they decided to actually add something instead, like an online leaderboard that could be worldwide, or maybe just specific to your friends list? Now, I got this idea from a game called Just Cause 3, which by the way is a great game, tons of fun, but that was a game that was released with no multiplayer, but basically it had been like 10 times better with it. However, what they had is a friend leaderboard on things like races, etc. So it added that little competitive aspect to it, and if Hogwarts Legacy could do this, as I say, either worldwide or even just to your friends list, it would be a ton of fun as it brings that competitiveness in the game. And of course it does not just have to be broom races, it could be anything that just makes sense to have a leaderboard. Now the last one is house points. So the comment says, more than anything I love the house points and those beautiful hourglasses to actually be used and not just static. And I couldn't agree more with this comment. So what do you think on this stuff? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you being the good wizard or the bad wizard? I'm eager to know as well in the comment section below. And also don't forget, there are some horrible things that you can do in Hogwarts Legacy, and I've listed 4 of the most horrible things that you can do in Hogwarts Legacy, so check out that video that you see on screen. And also yesterday, PlayStation users got another exclusive announcement and a bunch of other news was put out as well, so check that video out if you missed that one.